Israel's aura of invincibility was shattered in a dramatic fashion when a Houthi ballistic missile fired from Yemen tore through the most sophisticated missile defense shield in West Asia and struck the perimeter of the international airport near Tel Aviv. Our next report telling you more.
Boom. This is the moment when a missile fired by Houthis landed on Israel's largest airport. A plume of smoke into the air. Sirens blared. Air raid alerts echoed across central Israel. And chaos erupted as passengers and motorists scrambled for cover. Following threats from the Houthis, major airlines including German carrier Lufthansa, France's Air France, US carrier Delta and Hungary's Wizz Air have cancelled their scheduled flights to Tel Aviv. With Israel warning to give a decisive response to Yemen-based fighters, the Houthis in return have vowed to continue targeting Israel.
The Yemeni armed forces announced that they will work to impose a comprehensive air blockade on the Israeli enemy by repeatedly targeting airports, most notably Lod Airport, known in Israel as Ben Gurion Airport.
Despite multiple attempts, Israel's advanced Arrow and US-supplied THAAD systems failed to intercept the missile, exposing the limits of even the most modern air defense technology. THAAD first entered service in 2006, with the promise of revolutionizing the ability of American ground forces to intercept intermediate-range ballistic missiles in the upper atmosphere. While the primary threat against which THAAD was deployed was the Iranian ballistic missile arsenal, there are serious questions over its ability to withstand much more potent aerial attacks. The Houthis, bombarded for months by billions of dollars worth of munitions, 2 American aircraft carrier groups and relentless airstrikes, have not only survived but escalated the conflict. In the last 45 days alone, they have launched over 40 missiles and drones at Israel, repeatedly targeting airports and warning of a comprehensive aerial blockade. This attack underscores a harsh truth. No missile defense system is foolproof. Hypersonic speeds, stealth technology, and unpredictable flight paths can overwhelm even the best. The Houthis, battered but unbroken, have rewritten the rules of asymmetric warfare, leaving Israel and the world to grapple with a new era of vulnerability. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
And we now shift our attention to a deja vu unfolding in Pakistan, a situation that is eerily similar to the past. raising critical questions about whether Pakistan is once again heading towards political uncertainty. As tensions continue to rise sharply between India and Pakistan, Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif held a telephonic conversation with his Malaysian counterpart Anwar Ibrahim. According to Pakistani media outlets, during the call with the Malaysian Prime Minister, Sharif denied any involvement in the recent terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam, further claiming that Pakistan has always opposed terrorism. Sharif tried to justify this by pointing to the country's fragile economy, claiming that as Pakistan is reeling from a severe economic crisis, it as such seems to have little to gain and everything to lose from engaging in such hostile activities. Now, these words sound eerily similar to statements from the past, begging the question, is history repeating itself? Let's just rewind to 1999. According to Pakistani journalist Naseem Zehra's account in the book From Kargil to the Coup, at the height of the Kargil conflict, then Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, Shehbaz Sharif's brother, only learned the full extent of the Pakistan military's activities after confronting General Pervez Musharraf. Coming back to the present, is Pakistan's Army Chief Asif Munir in a similar situation, especially due to his fiery rhetoric just days before the Pahalgam terror attack. Munir notably was Pakistan's ISI chief during the 2019 Pulwama terror attack that killed 40 Indian security personnel, leading to India's Balakot airstrikes. A committee led by Munir reportedly was strongly in favor of Pakistan military responding against India after the Balakot airstrikes. But within months, Munir was removed as the ISI chief. His tenure lasted a mere 8 months, the shortest in the agency's history. Munir's sudden removal, according to him, stemmed from attempts to investigate corruption linked to then Prime Minister Imran Khan's wife. Khan has repeatedly accused Munir of holding a personal vendetta and even conspiring to kill him. The Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, Khan's party, continues to remain his biggest opponent. In fact, PTI boycotted a high-level security briefing on the escalating tensions with India, refusing to endorse what they describe as a hollow attempt at national unity, and demanding instead that Imran Khan be included in any serious dialogue. Meanwhile, Sharif, during his call with the Malaysian Prime Minister, also claimed that India's actions are diverting Pakistan's focus from counter-terrorism efforts along its western frontier, where Taliban notably has intensified its operations against Pakistan, even as internal unrest continues to brew. In Balochistan, the leader of the Balochistan National Party, Mengal, announced the start of what he calls a new era of political resistance, denouncing Islamabad's repeated failure to protect Baloch rights. Amid all the internal and external pressures, history in Pakistan seems to be repeating itself, just with different faces, but similar patterns. The question still is whether Pakistan will once again lose control of its own narrative. Our next story is about Facebook and its sharp drop in reports of child sexual abuse on its platform. According to Britain's National Crime Agency, or NCA, Facebook reported nearly 7 million fewer incidents in 2024 as compared to the year before. And that's a drop of 40%. NCA officials blame Mark Zuckerberg's push for end-to-end encryption. According to the British Crime Agency, Facebook is putting children's lives at risk by introducing end-to-end encryption for communications on Facebook. They say that Facebook's end-to-end encryption, which is a security method, basically used to ensure that only the sender and receiver can read messages and view calls, makes it harder for the tech giant, allegedly, to detect and report abuse on its platform. So the very method used to secure users is now making it harder for the company to detect abuses on its platforms. How do the authorities know this? Because the decline in reporting such cases contrasts with all independent data showing online child sexual abuse has increased and is being amplified by the advent of AI. According to the UK's top crime agency, while other tech companies have also improved their detection, Facebook's numbers have fallen, which makes children on the platform less safe than other platforms. The end-to-end encryption method basically means that Facebook is unable to proactively identify an offense taking place and even provide proof of such offense taking place on its platform, even upon request. In evidence on Facebook to a Senate committee, the chief executive of America's National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, Michelle DeLon, had said, and I'm quoting here, when a platform voluntarily chooses to blind itself to child sexual exploitation by disabling its ability to detect and report abuse, it's not just losing a report, it is potentially losing a child. Every lost report can represent a child who may never be identified, rescued, or safeguarded. It means the child's ongoing abuse and repeated re-victimization will continue unchecked, while offenders remain free to exploit more victims in the shadows, quote unquote. And it's not just Facebook, X, Google, Discord. Microsoft also reported fewer cases in 2024, reportedly. That's a first decline in 6 years, and this is a matter of serious concern. Critics say that the tech giants are putting privacy over child safety. They say that the tech giants are rolling out encryption without the appropriate tools to catch the abusers. And Facebook says it's simplified its reporting system and is still committed to helping law enforcement. And sure, Facebook has systems in place that can handle child abuse reports, but the question still is, if something that is supposed to protect the users is not working, is it even doing its job right? Shifting focus for now, Israeli leaders have approved a plan focused on capturing all of Gaza following nearly 19 months of continuous warfare and relentless attacks on the Palestinian territory. Israel has decided to intensify its military efforts. According to reports, Israel's security cabinet has endorsed a plan to seize control of the entire Gaza Strip for an indefinite period. What is the plan, you ask? It reportedly outlines efforts to capture and hold territories, and it aims to prevent Hamas from distributing humanitarian assistance, which Israel claims only bolsters Hamas's grip on Gaza. And the plan also includes conducting powerful strikes against Hamas targets and will be implemented gradually. If executed, this plan could mean a broadened Israeli operation in Gaza, potentially worsening the already critical humanitarian situation. Cabinet ministers finalized the plan in an early morning vote on Monday, just hours after the Israeli military announced plans to mobilize tens of thousands of reserve soldiers. Prime Minister Netanyahu's administration aims to increase pressure on Hamas to release hostages and negotiate a ceasefire favorable to Israel. And according to officials, the new plan has been designed to help Israel achieve its military objectives against Hamas. Since the breakdown of a U.S. brokered truce between Israel and Hamas in mid-March, the Israeli Defense Forces have launched fierce attacks on Palestinian territories, resulting in numerous casualties. According to Israel, it controls a substantial portion of Gaza, but even prior to the ceasefire's collapse, Israel had cut off all humanitarian aid to Gaza, including essentials like food, fuel, water. It triggered what is now considered the worst humanitarian crisis in nearly 19 months of the war. In fact, discussions have been going on with various countries regarding a controversial plan attributed to President Trump. It involves relocating Gaza's population under the guise of voluntary emigration. This proposal has drawn criticism from both European allies and the Arab world. The thing is, for weeks now, Israel has tried to heighten pressure on Hamas to encourage more flexibility in ceasefire talks. However, international mediators have found it challenging to facilitate any new agreement, as Israel's tactics have not exactly shifted Hamas's negotiating stance. The previous ceasefire was intended to set the stage for negotiations to end the war, but this goal has repeatedly stalled in discussions. Israel maintains that it will not agree to cease hostilities until Hamas is defeated, while Hamas insists on reaching an agreement that de-escalates the war. Let me now ask you a question. When was the last time you celebrated a failure? Sounds like a bizarre question, perhaps? Hear me out. You see, celebrations are synonymous with success. You achieve something, it must be celebrated. But these parents from India's Karnataka chose to break that age-old pattern. And how? By throwing a party after their son failed in the Class 10 board exams. Yes, they celebrated. To lift his spirits, they cut a cake with his score of 32% written on top of it. The message to the student? Cheer up, study harder now, do better next time, and don't worry that you failed. You may have failed in the exams, but not in life. And their gesture has been winning hearts online. Why not? It is, after all, a unique and extraordinary way of showing support and encouragement. In a way, also reinforcing how your marks, or your failures for that matter, in no way define you. And this is all the more important at a time when the stress that students have to go through has been a major concern. The takeaway here is simple. Why just celebrate success? Failure can be celebrated as well, and no setback is big enough. Learn from it, power through. Do you agree with this? Write to us and let us know what you think. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.